So my boy David dropped an excellent comment I'm going to dive in here with you guys, and basically we're going to ask the question, will NoFap ruin your ability to pleasure her, the girl that you like, your girlfriend, the future woman that you're going to be with, whatever the case may be, or guy, whatever floats your boat. So David said, so Dan, I know porn isn't 100% factual in terms of how things go down in bed, but how will younger people learn how to engage in natural, healthy, sexy time experiences with others? I never got the talk by my parents, and neither did I, David. And I feel like there are informational aspects when it comes to adult content. Believe it or not, there are tutorials on these websites that are fairly informative on how to go about initiating the sexy time, how you give your partner a sensual experience, etc. Tutorials like such wouldn't really be available on YouTube because, it's a pussy company and that's overly sensitive about what they put on their site. What are your thoughts on this? So first things first, most guys' problems are not with what to do in the bedroom. Most guys can't even open their mouth in front of a woman, all right? And watching adult content is not going to help you go down to the most basic principle of just talking to a female. PMO, adult content, has nothing to do with that. It cuts straight to the chase. It cuts all the way, after you talk to each other, you met each other hours and hours on end, and then, you have to plan out how you want to do this, how to make it socially acceptable. It cuts straight to the chase, and it just goes right into the bedroom, and it's like, all right, so this is what you're going to do. And if you're a man in that position, that's completely different. But for most guys, that's their problem. They can't even do square one, all right? That aside, the best way to learn is not by studying neurotically and learning every single detail and all these special tactics about something, but by actually just doing it. And there will always be awkwardness no matter how much you practice until you do it. That is the practice. That is the learning. That is the studying. Not by watching it and analyzing it like obsessively. Of course, there are things you will learn. I'm not going to say that there isn't like tutorial stuff and like how to do this and how to do that on these sites, especially by now. I'm sure there's tons of content out there, and to a degree, yes, there is some merit to it. But when you're on these sites, what are you going to be doing? Are you really going to be taking notes? No, you're not going to be taking notes. Are you kidding me? You're going to be, you're going to be going ham down there. You're going to do something like that. That's the truth. That's the reality of it. So that being said, it's not optimal. It's not a good way of learning. You don't learn much. You're existing right now, okay? And your parents and their parents' parents and their parents' parents, grandparents' parents did not have these screens that would pixelate bedtime stuff and drive us mad. They didn't have any of this, and yet you're still alive. They managed to get it cracking. Okay, how did they learn? Right? Okay, so you don't need that. It's useless. It's actually a very ineffective way of learning bedtime magic. The best thing to do, okay, I'm gonna tell you some secrets here. The best thing to do, focus on changing who you are. Instead of trying to learn these nitty-gritty to-dos, checklists to get this result, there is merit in times and places for techniques and tactics, don't get me wrong, but when it comes to making love and bedtime fun, your energy that you bring to the table is what's going to drive the girl mad. That she's just going to be addicted to your Johnson. It's what the Johnson is attached to, the vessel, the soul, the mind. When you're able to just drive each other crazy because there's just so much energy and tension, instead of like, oh yeah, I like, but there are techniques that you can learn that actually do help, and like you said, that make it more sensual. It's like, oh, caress the neck and do this and foreplay and all that good stuff. That being said, what is far more important is the energy that you bring and who you are as a person. Being comfortable with your sexuality. Think about taking a guy who's socially anxious, who's not comfortable around other people and being in social environments that are unfamiliar, and telling him, oh, just project your vocal very loud. Oh, just go up to the girl and say this. Go up to that guy and say this, and you'll befriend them and they'll think you're cool. When in his head, he's just sweating, he's panting, he's going up to the girl. Hey, I think you look like a cat. And he can't even like verbalize himself. He doesn't have the energy. So the technique is useless. Useless. It's just redundant. It's stupid. It's like it has no use for that guy. His problem is his state of being, who he is, his lifestyle choices, the mindsets he embodies, his self-chatter in his brain, not the technique to make her orgasm 632 times in a row. It's like, that's not what you need. You need to get more options. You need to get women through the door. You need women invested in you. You need women who are addicted to your conversational skills. That's what you need. Then you bring in the other side. Then you can do what I did when I was on my very, very long hard mode streak before I, broke that at like 100 and something days, 120, 130 day range with my ex. I was just listening to podcasts of guys who were actively going out, not dudes who are on sets making adult films that are fake, guys who actually go out, who had videos of them being with girls, real life women, and describing their stories with real life women and how they'd go about to initiate bedtime stuff. How they would I sound like an idiot, like trying to censor myself. It sounds retarded, but I have to. How what to do with your hands, how to kiss her, like the sensual spots to kiss her. Trying to understand the girl and giving the girl like a really amazing experience. I would listen to a podcast, so I'm not there in front of a screen like So I would take this podcast, I'd have some mental notes, and then when I would go with my ex, I would be able to experiment with some stuff. Maybe I'd look up on a blog. Maybe her and I would just explore each other's body and just be like, what's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? And as we're having our fun, we'd be talking to each other and be like, how does this feel? Okay, I'm going to try and do this. Wait, put your leg over here. Let's try this. Right? That is where the learning is done. Not by sitting in front of a monitor, watching people do it day in and day out. That doesn't make you better at it. It's by practicing. It's by actually experiencing it. That's where the studying is done. That's where the practicing is done. That's how you're going to learn. Unfortunately, like you said, our parents aren't going to give us the talk. They're just as lost as we are, or we were. So that is my recommendation. Stay away from it. You don't need those tutorials right now, especially if you're young. You don't need that. Focus on building up your value. Focus on getting more girls in, spin more plates, get more girls into the rotation. And then when you're at the point where like, damn, she's inviting me over, our conversations are loaded with flirtation, then you can be like, all right, let me type in a vlog how to do this, how to initiate X. But the best thing is just actually doing it and being lost and not knowing what to do and navigating through those emotions. That is the journey of this part of your life, your dating life, and your ability to pleasure her. So NoFap will not ruin your ability. If anything, it'll help you. You'll stay away from distractions. You'll get the potency back and the vitality, and you'll be able to bring more women into rotation because you have more time for it, if that's simply what you want. And it's not rocket science. It's instinctual. You know how to do it. You know how to go crazy in there. It's been happening for thousands of years. We've been breeding for thousands of years. We've been doing this for thousands of years. Your body, your brain knows what to do. It just needs to be in the right situation at the right time, and it will happen. Your instincts just take over. It's like, all right, let's get it cracking. All right? So that's pretty much that. Guys, if you enjoyed this, smash up the likes. Make sure you are subscribed. A lot of fire content is going to be coming out. Check the description. I have a free podcast that I've done with my brother. And what we did is we took and sat down, analyzed his 5-year streak, talked about his journey there, the things he learned, his past experiences, his traumas, his pains, how he overcame them, and some final points and some conclusions to his entire journey and how he overcame the chains of porn addiction, the chains of compulsive masturbation, and how he got over that. And I've basically taken snippets of this premium podcast that's not publicly available, and I'm going to be giving it to you. You literally just got to check the description, click that link. It takes you 10 seconds. Boom, you got it. Like literally within 10 seconds of after watching this, you can have that podcast for free. There's no strings attached. There's no like, for just 21 payments of $63. None of that. It's just a free podcast for you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time, and have an amazing day, guys. Peace out.
I'm never gonna give up, cause my mama never got to act on her own ambitions, and to show me how to find my map. I'ma get the treasure with the feminine conjure up on a ride.